Hello and good morning friends, welcome to the CEC-UGC live lecture. Dear friends, with our ongoing series on organizational behavior, today we will be talking on one of the another interesting topics, and the topic is group cohesiveness. We would be discussing how groups are formed, what are the factors which lead to the formation of these groups, what are the disadvantages of these groups, and how these groups could be broken. For this discussion and to give answers to these questions, we have once again with us in our studios Dr. Namita Rajput. Dr. Namita Rajput is one of the most prolific professors who believe in giving more and more of the knowledge she has experienced till now. She is a principal in Sri Aurobindo Evening College, University of Delhi. So let's welcome our guest Dr. Namita Rajput and let's try to get in-depth knowledge on the topic group cohesiveness. Hello ma'am, welcome to the A2Z lecture.
Good morning friends, we have a very important topic to be discussed today called group cohesiveness. So I'll start with one quote. Individually we are one drop, but together we are an ocean. So groups have got a deep meaning into the organizations of today. Now talent win games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. So this is given by Michael Jordan. Followed by, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you have to go together. So all these three definitions, which are given by various authors, they tantamount to the importance of forming the groups. Now, what is the concept of cohesiveness? Now, cohesiveness refers to the degree and the strength of the interpersonal interactions among members of the group. Cohesiveness is the degree to which the members are attracted to each other and are motivated to stay in that group. Cohesiveness can be more specifically defined as a tendency for a group to be in a unity while working together a goal or satisfy the emotional needs of its members. So cohesive groups have a general perception of we-ness. So this is a concept of we-ness, thus together we are, together we can, and together we will. So basically the groups are formed with the common mindsets, with the common degree of thinking level. Then of course when you are having the same level of thinking and same level of doing together, so slowly you come up together and you form a group. Now cohesiveness is a basic degree. Basically when all the group members, they want to be at the same place, they want to discuss certain things, so they get motivated with each other together. So this is the concept of cohesiveness. So loud we can say the group cohesiveness is the ability to think, act as if they are one, and a group is not physically together or not. So it is immaterial whether you are physically together or not, but group is basically one concept, which means that we are able to be working together, we are able to think together, we are able to do the work together. Now coming on to the basic concept of what is the group cohesiveness. Now we did the concept of cohesiveness, now we'll be doing the concept called group cohesiveness. Group cohesiveness can be defined as a group session wherein one group of members connects them with the help of a similar interest and program. Moreover, it is a process where a group of people for a group or a team consider their similar interest and ability. Now basically when an individual joins any kind of an organization, when a group is formed basically because of so many reasons together. One, they start thinking on the same grounds. They have a same common levels, they have a same comprehensions, they have same convictions. So basically overall interest of the people is the same. So slowly they start connecting with each other, they start moving together, they start thinking together, they start with small things like having coffee together, having lunch together, moving together, going on short breaks, prefer to sit together. Then of course all these things together, overall they form a group. So group is something which starts with the common thinking, common ability, common overall, the likes and the dislikes. Now group cohesiveness is the ability to think and act as one. So in the initial slide I said we-ness. So we-ness is the basic background and the backdrop of forming a group. And of course a group is said to be in a state of a cohesion when the members possess the bonds linking them from one another as to the group as a whole. According to Stephen Robbins, group cohesiveness is the degree to which the members are connected, attracted to each other, and are motivated to stay in a group. So overall, if you see this arrow of the 3 steps together, which is shown in the slide, cohesiveness grows out of the communication and the common interest. Of course, this leads to building the group identity, and of course it creates the climate of inclusion for all members. So this is the basic parameters. Since we are in the series of organization behavior, this is very specific to the organization, not only specific to organizations but overall forming the groups of anything, whether it is even you can see the groups in the houses also, like the mother and the daughter, they are in one group, the father and the son are in one group. So basically it is how you think, how you behave, how you feel, you start liking each other, you start staying together each other, the level comprehension and the thinking abilities are the same. So on this backdrop you form the groups. And of course, let us see the concept and the example of a political party. Like we have a Congress, we have a BJP, we have many other national parties. So what is this? So the people who are associated with one political party or one group for that matter, why? Because their ideologies match, their working style match, their backdrop match. So overall, they want to be associated and to be called in one associated level of the political party for that matter. Now taking this example to the organizations. Now for example, there are 2-3 people with leadership qualities. So the people would like to connect with one person and sometimes they want to connect with the other person. So they start associating with Mr. X and then they start associating with Mr. Y. So why this? Because they have the same level of ability, comprehension, thinking level, abilities, etc. So there are certain parameters to form the group and the group cohesiveness, why they want to be associated with one group. So let me have a discussion of these 5-6 parameters together to understand that how and why the groups are formed. The first is the similar interest. Now as a matter of fact, being a part of a group or a team is not that easy as it seems. Some groups and teams maintain a certain type of group rules for their group, and those group rules can be measured in terms of common interest of all the group members. And if anyone wants to join such team considering their common interest, then they should follow all the group ground rules given by the team leader. Therefore, it is necessary to understand that all the groups of the team, they maintain a same level of their own team formation. Now, slowly, as I said, when the groups are formed, so people start associating themselves with one group or the other. Now, on the similar grounds, when the groups are formed, whosoever is the team leader will dictate certain terms and the conditions, not in terms of the strict sense, but in terms of, because since everything is on an informal basis, so they do not have any code of conduct, they do not have any written rules and regulations, but yes, on the, if you see the strategies and the real working behind and formation of a group is that there are certain norms of the group, which every group member perhaps have to follow. And if they do not follow, slowly and steadily they will start disassociating that individual, that he is not fit to be a part of our group. So what is that? It is that if, for example, if I am a team leader, if I ask my team members that please do not disclose whatever discussion happens here in a group to any of the people in the public domain, and if they happen to do so, that means they are not loyal to that particular group, so they are not fit to be in that group, and slowly and steadily the group leader will start disassociating that individual and the group is broken. So you have to be very cautious if you are forming a group, that you have to follow the group norms, you have to follow the overall convictions and the overall opinions of the team leader as well. Now the second most important parameter to form a group is the group dignity. So let us have a look on this. Every group or a team maintains a certain level of pride and dignity with their team and team members. And to maintain that dignity and pride of the group of members, they deliver certain responsible services in favor of society and whoever is concerned. Moreover, it is an initial process of every group activity, and in that process, they undertake several services according to the pride and dignity of the group. Every single member of the group takes a part in such activity and that group. Now coming on to the third vital important parameter of forming a group is commitment. Now commitment, as the word states, it describes a personal loyalty and the honesty relating to that group. Most probably every member of the team needs to show some sort of commitment towards their work within the group, and for that they need to take an active participation in the activities of the group. This may lead to in developing the high performing teams, And of course, therefore, it is very important to and much necessary for all the members of the team that without commitment to a group cannot survive in their future activity. Now, as a matter of fact, when the groups are formed, there is a close surveillance which is done by the team leaders. Now, that close surveillance is, it could be hidden, it could be, on a apparent basis as well. Now, when the group activity commitment monitoring is hidden for that matter, so, they open their eyes, ears and nose through the members of the group only. The group members will tell you, sir, he is not paying attention. Sir, he is disclosing all the matters in the public domain. Sir, he is not maintaining the dignity of and respect of the group. Sir, he is doing certain, very bad issues in the public. So all these small things, they are disclosed through their group members only, or by virtue of which the team leader will understand that this person is not fit to be a part of the group for that matter. So overall, we can understand this, that if you do not have the commitment to a stronger level, slowly and steadily, the group members and the group leaders will not like you to be a part of the organization, groups, etc. So every member who is a part and parcel of a particular group for that matter, they have to maintain a particular degree of commitment to win the hearts of the team members, to win the heart of the team leaders. And of course, they will be better placed in that group, and they become a very vital pillar of that particular group, without which nothing will happen, nothing will move, and of course, without his permission, nobody can enter and nobody can exit that particular group. So everyone should put their heart and soul into maintaining the group norms, in performing the group norms, in taking care of the dignity of the group, and maintaining and showing a high level of commitment for that group. Now, these are the dimensions of the group cohesiveness. The first is the group unity, the second is the attraction, and the third is the team leader. Now, overall, when you say that all these, the parameters which we are discussed in this is the group unity. Now, coming on to what group unity means. Now, many theorists believe that the group cohesion results from a deep sense of we-ness or belonging to a group as a whole. By becoming enthusiastically involved in the efforts of their group and by recognizing the similarities that exist among the group members, individuals tend to develop a close connection with their group and their group members. So, overall, when you analyze the concept of we-ness, the concept of unity, it is that union is strength, together we move, together we fall. So that is, if the members are trying to fall the organization, the other members should pull that organization, because they are believing that group is first, not the individual. Similarly, if you take this example for an institution, so whosoever is doing malpractices or they are having malified intentions, this is not good for the upliftment of the organization. So that members should be away and should be shunted out of the group. So overall, to maintain the group unity, every core member of the group must maintain the dignity, must retain the respect, must obey the group norms. Overall, if all these things are fulfilled, the group becomes stronger and stronger and stronger, and the philosophy behind group is that they will be able to move the group together, they will be able to move the organization together. Now, second is your attraction. The overall here we are discussing certain dimensions of group cohesiveness, that how and because of what parameters, because of what frontiers the group is formed. As a matter of fact, first we discussed the group unity. Now we are discussing the attraction. According to Hogg in 1992, group cohesiveness typically develops from a depersonalized attraction to a group member based on their status as group members, rather than a personal attraction based on specific relationships. Now, basically, there are so many working groups together working in an organization, and if you extend this concept to the society, there are so many institutions which are working together. Not everyone is working in such a style that the people would get attracted to you. So to get attraction, you have to do certain things which attracts the people, which makes your organization viable, that people start inquiring about your group, start, coming to your group, start calling your group members that yes, please associate me also, that I want to be a part of that particular group. So overall, all these matters are most important. For example, if any of the social organization is doing a lot of social work and they are working in such a manner that they are lifting the society, or they are going on to reaching the unreached, for that matter, if the people start watching you, if people start stalking you on the social media and websites, they start getting attractions that yes, we can also do something to the society. It's like giving back to the society. So all these are parameters. They are not specific to only organization. They can be extended to on the major and the broader aspect of the society also. Now, the third most important parameter of forming the group cohesiveness is the teamwork. If few members are weak in your team, you should try build them, you should try motivate them, and the team leader, of course, gives his best to motivate all the team members so that a team spirit is generated, and the by result of generating that team spirit is that the teamwork is done. And if the teamwork is done, of course, it is very, very important for the organization to move on the organizational goal. They'll be able to optimize on their resources, they'll be optimizing onto their an achievement of the organizational goals, etc. So whatever ends the organizations have thought about, it is very easy for them to achieve those goals. So the teamwork, some theories, they give stress that the cohesion comes from the group members' commitment to work together to complete their shared task and accomplish their collective goals. Followed by this, the members of the task-oriented groups, they typically exhibit great interdependence and often possess the feelings of responsibilities for the group outcomes. So if you want the group outcomes to be better, if you want the group outcomes to be good, then of course people should work on the parameters like the unity of the group, the attraction of the group, doing a lot of efforts to generate the team spirit, etc. Now coming on to the introduction to group cohesiveness. Now what do you mean by a group? Of course, you cannot form a group with yourself. You need at least two people to form a group. So two or more people who interact regularly to accomplish a common purpose and a goal, followed by what is cohesiveness? The extent to which the members are loyal and committed to the group, the degree of mutual attractiveness within the group. Now coming on to the most important parameter of the presentation of today, that is what are the basic attributes of a cohesive group. How can we say that this particular group is very, very unified? How can we say that this particular group is having the best aspects in the life in terms of their members? Nobody speaks against each other. Everybody is moving together. Everybody is walking together. Everybody is thinking together. Everybody is doing together. So let me give you certain attributes of a cohesive group. So starting with this, the members share the group goals and they have the common interest. So these small attributes are so important to form the cohesive group, so that if you have the group goals in front of you, that is, you will always work for the individual, you will not work for the individual goals, you will always work for the group goals. So this is the first attribute of a cohesive group. Now coming on to the second attribute of a cohesive group. The number of the members is relatively small. The members are in constant touch with each other and they have a very effective interpersonal communication. They have a high group loyalty. The members interact among themselves quite frequently. The members keep themselves attached to the group as they feel that their needs would be satisfied by the group. So why do we form a group? Because we have certain needs to be fulfilled, which individually we cannot do that. So we start associating with the group of our own choice. As a matter of fact, the groups for which we get attraction, the group we get associated with, we try to be a part of that. We try to connect with them. We try to constantly call with them. We show our high levels of loyalties to them. And of course, in terms of any kind of an interaction which is not fruitful, we try to solve them, we try to resolve them. So these are the basic attributes of, forming in a group cohesiveness. Now coming on to another parameter called what are the elements contributing the group efficiency. Now basically what is the efficiency? Efficiency comes from the loyalty, efficiency comes from the group size, efficiency comes from the cohesiveness, efficiency comes from a good leadership. If your leader is good, he can do wonders. He can bring about a sea change in the unity of that group. And of course, if the larger group is there, the cohesiveness goes on decreasing, because you have to optimize, you have to talk to so many people, you have to play with the psyche of so many people. Smaller the group, cohesive it is, larger the group, cohesiveness goes on falling. So it's not that the larger groups, they do not have the cohesiveness. We have so many examples and international examples of such groups in which the cohesiveness level goes up, because the people are so active, people are so frequent in talking to each other that there is no particular chance to solve any kind of a query or to come on to any kind of a problems. If they face any problems, they are resolved immediately. Now, followed by certain group norms, we are able to optimize on the group efficiency if the people, they follow the group norms to the best possible extent, followed by the synergy and individuals. Now, I'll explain you what synergy means. Synergy is 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2, it is equal to 5. That means if you are in a group, so there are certain hidden things, there are certain unquantifiable things which is even a part and parcel of the a group. Like for example, the loyalty. The loyalty cannot be measured. Who knows that who is bullying whom? So you should not backstab, you should not be talking at the back of the individual. Whatever are the problems, it is better to solve them, and you must follow the group norms for that matter to form the unity of the group. If anything goes wrong, if the people are starting with the conspiracies or they are into a grapevine communication, all these things are very detrimental for the unity of the group. And for that matter, if this comes in the notice with the team leader, that person should not be there in that group anymore, because one person spoils the entire ocean. We know that for that matter. Now we'll be discussing these parameters one by one, that is, what are the factors contributing to the group cohesiveness. Now these factors are so important from the organization point of view. We'll be discussing these one by one. The first is threat and competition. Whenever the common group goal is threatened, the cohesiveness increases. Also, such cohesiveness increases the importance of the goals. When we fight for a goal, the goal gets the highest priority. Thus, the threatening party will have less chance of success when faced with a unified force. There is so much of turbulence which you see that if the outside force is coming on to breaking the unity of the group, all the members must be unified, all the members must try. That whosoever is coming and trying to intervene or trying to break the unity of the group, that person should be away from the organization and the strict action must be taken against that person. But yes, all the members must report all these things which are causing a lot of issues to the unity of that group. So we are now discussing about the factors contributing to the group cohesiveness. In this, we first discuss the threat and competition, followed by the second, that is the difficulty in entry. It's very, very difficult to join a particular group unless and until you are very, very careful about the ideologies, the functioning, the backdrop, and you are very happy with the philosophy behind forming a group. So if all these parameters are satisfied at an individual level, then you try and make efforts to join that particular group. Now again, there is a question mark on this. Are we ready to that group? First of all, this question you have to ask from yourself. If you get the answer, yes, this is what is the type of group I'm looking for. Now you come on to the procedural aspect of entering that particular group. Sometimes to join a group is very easy, but yes, sometimes the group norms are so strict, so pertinent, so diligent, so difficult that you have to make actually the good efforts to you have to prove yourself that yes, I'm fit for a group, and you have to prove this to the team leaders as well. So they would be giving you the way that this is the way you can join a particular group. So some groups are not easy to join. The members are very careful, selected, and the selected members feel the sense of pride and accomplishment. They feel very happy that yes, now we are associated with this particular group. But yes, first thing you have to ask from yourself that this is the group I'm looking for. Because where your heart is, your brain is, your convictions are, your philosophy or the success is bound to happen. Followed by this, the more difficult it is to get into a group, the more cohesive that group becomes. Sometimes the entry and exit is so easy that the unity of that particular group is at bay. So we have to understand this comprehension, we have to understand this opinion that yes, we have to put in our best efforts to enter. The entry should be difficult. Entry, if it is difficult, the more cohesiveness that particular group will show. Followed by the reason of exclusiveness and elite group of the members. If they are selected on the basis of certain characteristics and these characteristics are becoming common to all, add to the degree of liking and attraction towards each other. So as a matter of fact, we have discussed 2 parameters which helps us in entering a group. The first which we discussed was threat and competition, and the second is difficulty in entry. Thank you so much. So we are now discussing the factors contributing to the group cohesiveness. There are certain factors which are responsible for increasing and decreasing the group cohesiveness, out of which we have discussed 2 which I will be taking up again. The first was the threat of competition, the second is the time going together, the third is the previous success, the difficulty of entry and exit, the group size and the similarities, attitudes and values. So we have discussed here the threat and competition. Now sometimes the outside party they start coming on and reckoning the or breaking the group unity. So in that matter the group cohesiveness goes on increasing. Followed by the second, that is difficulty in entry. So there are certain norms for the particular group. For that matter the entry becomes difficult. More difficult the entry is, more cohesiveness comes from that particular group. Now third is time together. Now it is quite natural that more time people spend together, more time they get to know each other, more tendency that they will get closer to each other, thus strengthening the degree of cohesiveness. In an organization setting, people who work near each other are more likely to spend more time together. So this is a human psychology, this is a human parameter, that out of sight, out of mind. The people who are away, they will not be a part of our daily thinking levels, so the cohesiveness with those people will be less. But yes, if you are spending time with the people more which are closer to each other in that organization, who are sitting next to each other, they try to spend more and more time together because of their work schedules, because of their working place, because of their sitting places, etc. So they have a tendency to come together, and in that case, the time spent together, the cohesiveness moves up. So this is a human parameter that, if you are moving together, if you are thinking together, if you are working together, the cohesiveness will move on. Now coming on to the fourth important parameter of the contributing factors of the group cohesiveness is the group size. Since the continuous and close interaction among the members is the fundamental necessity for cohesiveness, it would be natural to assume that large group restricts the extent of communication and interaction with each other, thus resulting in the reduction of degree of cohesiveness. So since we have seen here that we have to be in close interaction with each other to form the group cohesiveness, so it is very natural that the large groups, the extent of communication, the extent of interaction, the extent of closeness is very less. So here, if you see behind the concept of this, the group cohesiveness is lesser compared to those people who are lesser in number, closer in number, and they are having a unified group, they are having a comprehensive group in that regard. Now the fifth most important factor is the previous success. When a group achieves a meaningful goal, the cohesiveness of the group increases because the success is shared by all the members and each one feels responsible for the achievement. For example, when a sport team wins an important game, everyone in the team congratulates each other and the member of the team for this success. If you see the team spirit, if you see the people who are in a group, if you see people working together, whether it is a sports, like for example the Indian cricket team or Indian football team for that matter, the group cohesiveness is very important. So every thick and thins in that particular group, which happens to that particular group, they share together. So if they share the success, the happiness is shared. If they share the success, the thoughts are the same. They're happy from inside. So all these factors, specifically the success relating to that particular group, it leads to the happiness, it leads to more group cohesiveness, it leads to more unified groups. The sixth factor is a similarity of attitude and values. One of the strongest sources of group cohesiveness is the similarity in values, morals, beliefs, and the code of conduct. We enjoy the company of others who hold similar opinion and characteristics as ourselves. So there is a human psychology behind this, that the people who are having the same interest, same attitude, same values, they work together, they are happy together. So birds of the same folks, they fly together. So this is the criteria behind it, that if you are having the common attitudes for working style, that we are workaholic, or we want to work more and more, the people who are hardworking, they are having the same senses prevailing among them. So they try to connect with each other more closely, closer to heart. They're happy to be together. Similarly, in terms of the values also, some people, they care about the values, and the value system is almost the same amongst the people who are having the similar interest, similar attitude, and similar value. So here also the group cohesiveness moves up. Similarly, on the contrary of it, if the people are not having these kind of convictions, these kind of attitudes, these kind of values which are different from each other or are diverse in nature, the cohesiveness goes on falling. Now, I'm giving you a very important concept here, that is, what is the relationship of group cohesiveness, performance norms, and productivity. If you see this particular grid, if you see on the left part, we have the performance norms, and on the top of it, on the right side, we have the cohesiveness. So if you see the parameters together, that is, for example, the performance norms is low, it leads to low productivity and it leads to low comprehension, low cohesiveness. If all these things are high, there is a high productivity, and sometimes it is moderate to low and sometimes it is moderate productivity. So this grid itself is very, very meaningful, and it gives a lot of importance to the cohesiveness, that if you have the group cohesiveness, the productivity would go up, the morals would go up, the productivity and the performance, the profitability would go up, the people will stand by each other, the people will have, of course, a lot of commonalities, common attitude, common value system. So all these things are very important for the organization for a longer period and for a sustainable growth for the organization. Now coming on to the benefits of group cohesiveness. So these are the benefits which are in front of you. First, it leads to increased morale. 2, it leads to increased productivity. 3, it leads to improved communication. 4th, conformity and influences. So if you see on the right part of it, we have a synergy. That is 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2, it is equal to 3. So this synergy comes from the cohesiveness. That is, there are certain, achievements of those group which cannot be measured in quantitative aspect. So if you're not able to measure in a quantitative aspect, this is a qualitative aspect. And of course, the whole is more than sum of its individual parts. So synergy is 1 plus 1 is equal to 3, and cohesiveness is equal to synergy. If the cohesiveness is more, the synergy effects would be more. If the cohesiveness is less, the synergetic effects are less. So each and every member of the group must perform their best, must follow the group norms, must stand with each other. They should be away from the grapevine communications. They should not be carried away by the conspiracies, the bad influences. For that matter, they should be again away from the conflicting forces which try to break the unity of the group. Now coming on to the disadvantages of group cohesiveness. There is a clash of personality which you see in that group. That is, the members, every member wants to be the leader, every member wants to be the best. So this is what is called as a clash of personality. Everybody wants to feel that he is the leader. And if such persons are in a group, it is very detrimental for the unity of the group, and everybody will be having the conflicting interest, conflicting personalities. So this is the disadvantage of having a group in which the people are equally good, people with equal competence, people with common interest, people with shared values. But yes, one thing is that there is a clash of personalities. Unless and until the people have a compromising attitude, people have a happy attitude or let go attitude, they will not be able to sustain in that particular group, so they would be moving out of that particular group. Second is the conflict of task. Sometimes there is a conflict of task which is again bad for the particular group. That is, the common type of task is assigned to all the members, so everybody would say that I'm right, the other one will say I'm right. The third is the breakdown in communication. Sometimes, when you talk about the communication is the essence for the unity of the communication. If there is a communication gap, it can lead to disasters. Because unless and until people communicate directly with each other, they solve their problems directly, there will be a communication breakup. So when you have a breakdown in communication, a lot of disastrous impact, they happen, which is not good for the group unity, which is not good for the sustainable growth of that particular group. Now followed by the struggling for power, frequent turnovers of the members, and the disagreement. As a matter of fact, we are all human beings. It is not always true that what you say, I'm going to follow that. And if this is the case, there can be a deadlock in the decision making of a particular group, because there's no consensus which is being formed. There is always a controversy which is prevailing. If X is saying one thing, the Y will say other thing, the Z will say other thing. So overall, the impact and the spillover is of this particular situation is that the people will never be happy, they will never be able to take good decisions, and of course the group unity will be at bar, and the people will try to move out of that particular group, which leads to higher turnover in that particular group. If this is being observed that nobody stays in a particular group, that group becomes a Titanic group, which has to fall in any case. So all the group members, the team leaders would try and strive for group unity, teamwork, and on the backdrop, they should try to resolve the problems of each and every member of the group. So the team workers, the team members are very, very important for the organization. If they want to be out of that particular clut of, the conspiracies and the spillovers and the rumors, they should put in their best efforts to solve the problems of each and every member of the particular group. Now, there is an important question in front of you, that if you see this kind of a disagreement, if you see this kind of a turnover, how are you going to tackle with this problem? So we are having a solution in front of you. That is, now I'm going to give you how to increase the cohesiveness or the cohesion of a particular group. First and the most important parameter in this regard is that you make the group smaller, because smaller number of people you'll be able to have lesser number of people in front of you, lesser advices in front of you, lesser grapevine communication, lesser conspiracies and lesser rumors. Smaller the group, cohesion goes on increasing. Larger the group, the cohesion goes on increasing. The second is encourage the agreement with the group goals. If the group goals are coming, you should try and have a consensus rather than having always your own opinion. But yes, if you are, the group goals which are coming in front of you, the objectives which are coming in front of you, if they are not good, if they are not good for the sustainable growth of the group, then you should raise your voice. But by and large, you should show your commitment, you should show your levels of agreement in this regard. The third is increase the time members of time spent together. As I said in the earlier slides, the more you are together, the more consensus is formed, the more you know each other, you know your weaknesses, you know your strengths. So the weaknesses and the strengths can be tackled very easily if you spend some more time together. Spending more time together is the biggest factor and the most vital factor, most pertinent factor to increase the group cohesion. The next is you should stimulate the competition with the other groups rather than within the group. So, the inter-competition, the intra-competitions of the members should be replaced by group competitions, because your energies of the group members will be channelized to tackle the outside force rather than the inside force. Then you should give rewards to the group, not individuals. So this is one of the biggest solution you can think of, that individuals should not feel important, the group should feel important. So whatever applauds, whatever honors, whatever good things you want to enroll and give it to the group, you should give it to the groups rather than the individuals or to the team leaders. You should call upon each and every member of the group together and give the awards and applauds to the members as a whole, not to one individual. No, each member or individual should feel important in this regard. In fact, the groups should be coming together and talking about, yes, the group number 1 has won this prize, group number 2 has been applauded on this regard, etc. Then, of course, how to decrease the cohesion is also most important. Increasing the cohesion is one aspect and decreasing the cohesion is one aspect. So how to decrease the cohesion is a big question mark, which every contemporary modern organizations are doing today. The first is you should induce disagreement in group goals. Now these are the factors you should be very vigilant, you should be very careful, because to settle their personal scores in this regard, they try and form and induce the disagreement in the group goals, which is very detrimental for the group growth. Now increase the membership heterogeneity. More diversity you have in a group, more problems you have in a group. Like for example, if you see the boardroom of today, you have multinationality in that case, you have multilinguality in that case. The people, even for that matter, the gender is different, that is male, female is there, they have a different levels. They have a different comprehension, convictions, etc. And of course, the problem becomes more grave when you have the boardroom agenda coming from the international boundaries. That is, you have people from America, Korea, Japan, etc. So they are born and brought up with their own culture. They are born and brought up with their own convictions. They have their own agenda to solve. So, as a matter of fact, when our group goals are, formed, there is a complete disagreement in this regard. The American will say that this is right, the Korean will say no, this is wrong. So, having a closer fight in the international group's agenda will be very difficult to solve. Although diversity makes business sense, but it is again, the manager has to be very transformational in nature rather than transactional in nature to solve all these problems, etc. If you increase the group size, of course, the diversity, leads to, and the size leads to lesser cohesion. Then you allocate the reward to individual rather than the group as a whole. Again, the fight will move up. You will have intra-group problems. You will have intra-group issues. And to solve these issues, again, it is a big problem. Then you have to remove the physical isolation and you have to introduce a dominating member. Now, this part, that is the introduction of the dominating member, is a big problem. Why? Because the dominant member will try to impose his own ideologies onto the group as a whole. And if the people are stronger with the same similar leadership qualities in them, they will not like to be a part of that group. They will always see that, yes, I'm important and he's not important, or he's always trying to impose the concepts onto us. So again, all these issues leads to disagreement, all these issues leads to, the heterogeneity, all these factors leads to, conflicting interactions, which is not, good for the organization as a whole. Now, important factors of group cohesiveness. The first is that you should have an equal mindset. If you have the equal mindsets, the groups will be formed. Not only the groups will be formed, but they will be having the stronger group cohesiveness. So let us have a look on this. As the people join some group with a thinking that they can be a part of that particular group, as they share a similar kind of interest, they are definitely should go ahead with their decision and join such team or a group. Most group which maintain a certain focus element in their group consider their members' interest to carry on with their group services. Therefore, most of the group accepts those candidates who are very much interested in their activity, and others, they do not have, no group accepts a person with a different nature of interest. So it is very important to understand that people should always have an equal mindset, a same comprehension level to be a part and to retain in that particular group. The second most important factor in front of you is the communication. As it is explained earlier also, that communication between the team and its team members is very important to maintain the group spirit and the group norms and the group cohesiveness, followed by the trust factor. If the people who are in a particular group, they do not trust each other, trust is the essence for any kind of group to grow. If you always start distrusting the people, then overall the consequence of that particular group will be a big problem to solve also. And coming on to the objective of the goal, the fourth parameter to form the particular group and the group cohesiveness is that every group or a team member, their objective for that particular group, and that group delivers their objective in the form of their services and activities. And that is why the objective holds for the basic needs of the group or a team. Therefore, maintaining an objective for a group or a team is necessary to continue with their positive intention about their social activity. Eventually, these social activities with the positive objective can bring about a positive recommendation and, of course, their future benefits. The fifth is your experience. Now, experience means that their previous group experience, most of the time, these group experience creates a difference with the new group. These difference can bring about all new and creative ideas with the members of the group in this regard, and therefore all the things which comes in the help of the previous experience in their group cohesiveness can provide an overall growth with the group. Now, experience could be a success, it could be a failure. If you are having a previous experience as a success, it is good for the organization. If you do not have the experience of a success, it is bad for the organization. Now, importance of the group cohesiveness, the last topic of today. When it comes to evaluating something in one's life, then people experience some sort of issues with it, and to understand such importance of that particular thing, a person needs to appreciate its worth. And not only this, which is possible only for handling the activities, either it is a group or an individual. The first is the performance. As of course, we are now discussing the last part of the presentation, that is the importance of the group cohesiveness. If you are able to have the group cohesiveness in the organizations of today, it is going to lead to the better performance, it leads to the better satisfaction of the members, it leads to the control of certain emotional factors, and it leads to the pressure of assurance. And overall, we see the advantages are so good that everyone should try to achieve the group cohesiveness as far as possible. All the factors and the study eliminates relating to the group cohesion behavior is a cover-up of all sorts of benefits of group cohesiveness. Therefore, these advantages or benefits can clear out all the fogs surrounded and can show a ray of sunshine. Now, we on this particular line, I would like to expand here that if you are able to expand the group cohesiveness, you are able to strengthen that group, you are able to have the more group cohesiveness, it is going to grow like anything. Sky is the limit for the growth of that group. You will be able to achieve the organizational goals, you will be able to achieve your individual goals, and the success will be all your ways, all the shady clouds will be over, all the fog will be over, and you will always see a sunshine in the sky, which is very, very important aspect. Now, coming on to the emotional factors, they are controlled. Coming on to the emotional and motivational elements, so we will be discussing this now. As it is explained earlier, that all the elements which a person has to join to be a part of the group are motivational elements, which can be brought from the members of the team, and moreover, these members can create some sort of differentiation between their improvement and courage in terms of their motivating behavior. The second is the better cooperation. If it is a group of members who share the similar interest and attraction as compared to each other, then it is quite clear that all the things which can be delivered with the help of the group cohesiveness behavior can definitely produce better cooperation between the team and their members. Therefore, because of the group cohesion behavior, the groups can embrace a better cooperation with the rest of their team members. And of course, there will be a time saving in this regard. The work allotted to the group members instead of work allotted by an individual can also be very, very important. It can definitely have a positive approach, side-by-side approach for the work. For instance, when it comes to an individual person, then the person might take a while and a longer time to solve the issues, but when the issue is drafted or put in front of the group, it is better, it is quicker to do a particular task as far as possible. And when you talk about the group cohesion also, it improves the communication also. How it is improving the communication? Let us have a look. As it is the task of a group or a team, then the team leader might be aware of all the consequences of work assigned to a person. And because of the group cohesiveness, the whole team can experience some sort of change in their communication levels. These communication levels, they create a difference in their personal lives, professional lives as usual, and moreover, it is also providing good confidence to all the members of the team. Now, coming on to the disadvantages of a group cohesion. Most part of the study material with the subject line called group cohesiveness can clear all your doubts among its readers and with their team members. Therefore, it is very necessary to know that what are the disadvantages of a group cohesion, and these disadvantages can also help the group member with all the growth and successful life of their daily life. The first is the low level of productivity. Most of the time, working in a group cannot favor a company or an organization with the help of their own group. And it is because of the teams own their own thinking levels, and in this case the production, a group cohesiveness brings it down to a lower level because most of the team members, they are available in the team and from the same field of the work. it is very fast moving generation, and that it is very necessary to understand the low level of productivity among the team members. The second is the lack of creativity. If the group cohesiveness is not there, people will not be able to show and express their creativity, which is par excellence, and of course the innovation creativity will be highlighted, it will be brightened when the cohesion will go up. So these things have to be understood. The innovations will not take place, the creativity will not take place. So first and the foremost thing which everyone has to understand and develop is the group cohesiveness. Next is your domination. The domination can be experienced because of the team leaders of every group. Most of these type of the groups, they benefit the company, and moreover it can be damaging the unity of the group. Therefore all the team members, leaders need to understand that if they need to talk, they want to be the team members, they want to work in a team, so accordingly they should get the direction and they should treat each one of the member equally. So with these words I end my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so very much for giving us a prolific session once again. And dear friends, your feedbacks are welcome over here. To contact us, do write to us at info.cec@nic.in. The lecture is going to be uploaded on YouTube soon. Keep watching us, keep writing us. We will be waiting for you and would be meeting again soon. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again.